Some 200,000 animals trapped in Suez Canal likely to die. Even for ships who resumed course, the water and food isn't enough.
Here's a summary of the article.
The worst maritime animal welfare tragedy in history could, by now, be unavoidable, says Gabriel P. Un, the EU Director for Animals International, an NGO. There are 16 ships taking live animals from the EU to the Persian Gulf which have been stuck for several days behind the stranded, Ever Given cargo vessel in the Suez Canal. Romania is the source for the 130,000 of the 200,000 live animals now caught in the Suez bottleneck. Some 6 of the 11 ships full to the brim with the live animals from the southeastern European nation are in a particularly critical situation. According to EU law, ships carrying live animals need to load 25% more food than planned for their trip in case of delays, but animal welfare organizations warned that this rarely happens. P. Un says the only chance now for some of the animals to make it to destination alive is for Egyptian authorities to move quickly and clear the ships trapped in the Suez. According to a ruling by the European Court of Justice, the EU member state exporting live animals to a third-party country is responsible for their well-being until reaching destination, he added. For P. Un, Romania should move toward exporting meat rather than live animals.
This post received a score of 9,000, with an upvote ratio of 97%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
Is nobody going to mention how the animals don't have enough room to turn around, much less take a dump without hitting another?
No, BC, most people ignore the horrible living conditions of the animals they eat, so that they won't feel bad about perpetuating the horror.
Organization dedicated to electing Democrats who support Green New Deal, Medicare for all, and refuse corporate funding. An organization dedicated to advancing progressive candidates and causes. Wolfpack, organization dedicated to getting corporate money out of politics. A large, self-growing political activism organization focused on creating a more compassionate government that represents everyone. Dedicated to creating viral educational videos for the left and combating the Republican propaganda that is PragerU. And no matter where you live, you can also get involved with the organization.
Exactly. It's much easier to live life with no awareness of your effect on other living beings. It's also difficult to live life without harming others, or the environment, in some way. However, in my experience, once I opened my eyes to the suffering, it was quite painful but also rewarding to know I'm doing my best to make choices that cause the least suffering.
Making lifestyle changes that reduce your negative impact on the world is great, but it's worth remembering that the biggest contributors to things like pollution, water waste, animal cruelty, etc., are giant corporations. If we want to make a lasting impact, it's important that organizing with others to pressure politicians and demand these companies be regulated be a part of our toolset.
And who buys from the corporations? The people. If people didn't consume so much, these corporations wouldn't even exist. Core have already captured society. Who is some poor family in the worst part of the city going to buy from? Independent farmers markets. Same goes for working, low or middle class people, struggling to make rent, mortgage payments.
That's one fucking disgusting photo. This picture is troubling on so many accounts.
The good news is that grown meat will make this a thing of the past within the next decade. Where's the Beef is the largest subreddit about it if you want to follow the development.
The bad news is that meat consumption and production are still on the rise, and we don't know how much or how fast lab-grown meat will be able to disrupt that industry.
Once it's fully developed, it will be far cheaper than raising live animals for slaughter. I imagine the industry will have plenty of profit motive to make the transition.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.